You need three things to become a highly paid professional speaker. And we're going to talk about each of those three things right now. First and foremost, you need amazing content and an amazing speech. That's the barrier to entry. It is no longer about just having great assets and a great sizzle. And, we assume that because you're well known or that it's a hot topic that you're going to be good. No, it's like we need proof that you have amazing content and that you're an amazing speaker. And some of the assets we're going to talk about that will help support that. But we live in a day and age that people can go online, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, just go to Google and find clips of you speaking. They better be good. And the content needs to be powerful and engaging and innovative and original. So let's just stop with that. You have to have amazing content. It needs to be clear and it needs to be actionable, and you've got to be great on stage. Just because you have great content making videos behind a camera like this doesn't always mean you're a great presenter on stage. That's an art, that's a craft, and it needs to be honed. So let's just start with this, that you must have amazing content and you must be a great presenter on stage. Those are two things that are a given in order to become a highly paid professional speaker. Now, assuming that you have those two things because you've been working on your content for years and that you have been honing this craft and you've been speaking, which you don't become a great speaker the first time you speak, FYI. That is something that happens over the course of time. So speak as much as you can. Speak for free, speak for money, just speak. Speak for groups of 3, speak for groups of 3,000. You need the practice. You need to figure out what parts of your story do people remember? What makes them laugh? What makes them think? Where do you need pauses? Where do you need a little bit more humor? Where do you need a little bit more seriousness? Where do you need slides? That only comes with practice. And so the more you do it, the better you get always. Now, second to that, the prerequisite is you got to have an amazing speech and you have to have amazing content. There are some other things that help you enhance your ability to become a highly paid professional speaker. First of all, you have to know, categorically speaking, what topics are evergreen topics that are naturally going to allow you to increase your fees over the course of time. And what I mean by evergreen topics is it does not matter what market we're in, what economy we're in, what company it is, what industry it is, that there are some categories that are always going to be requested when someone is looking for a speaker. Some of those, this is not all of them, but some of those categories that are evergreen that also allow for highly paid speeches would be leadership. There is always going to be a need in associations, education, government, corporations, for there to be a discussion around how do you become a better leader of people. Now, within that category of leadership, there's communication, there's management, there's all other types of things. But just think about leadership as a category. Another one would be culture. No matter what, culture is always going to be a part of a conversation. Teamwork. How do we work with others as leaders, but also as employees? That's top down, bottom up. But teamwork would be another one. So if you think about like large, widespread, categorically speaking, those are 3 categories. And like I said, they're not the only ones, but those are 3 categories that are always going to be requested that allow for your fees to grow without you ever leaving that category. If you think of some of the most high paid professional speakers out there, like the Mel Robbins of the world, it's like there are components of what she is talking about where it is, overcoming, fear, right? But a little bit of that is overcoming fear to do something, right? To be a leader, to make the sale, to ask for the thing. You've got people like Tony Robbins, right? And his is about empowerment. And it doesn't matter if you're a leader or a frontline employee, but there are some general conversation topics that are always going to allow for you to grow within that vertical and increase your fees. There are other evergreen categories of speeches that will always be needed and requested, but doesn't allow for the same fee intensity for it to grow as exponential. And I'll give you a quick example. Can you tell me 10 different social media speakers who have fees of $40,000 a keynote? Maybe, likely not. That is a topic that is considered, important, but it's probably more considered of like a $5,000, $10,000 speaker, not a $40,000 speaker on social media, versus I could list you 30, $40,000 speakers right now in leadership. Tons of them. Now, it's not saying that the content for social media isn't important. It's just that it doesn't allow for that same fee exponential increase as some of these other categories. So social media, that would be an example, but other evergreen categories that are important, that are always going to be important, would be sales, customer experience, what we used to refer to as customer service, branding, marketing. These are high level categories. And those are evergreen categories, but don't allow for the same fee growth as maybe a leadership, a culture, a teamwork type of topic. So the first thing you want to look at is, how does my content that I believe in, that is unique and niche to me, fit within one of these categories that are going to allow me to have fee increases over time? And whatever it is, it's like, how do I weave in components of culture, leadership, and teamwork into what I'm doing so that I fit within that request, as those are always going to be highly requested topics for events. Doesn't matter what the event is. So how can what you do also weave in some of those elements so that you fit into those categories? Outside of that, video is the silver bullet. You have to have amazing video, a demo video. So I'm going to just talk about some of the key bullet points of what you need here. One, you've got to have a 5 to 7 minute speaker demo video. If you've got something really original, something unique, maybe 10 minutes, but 5 to 7 is the sweet spot that event planners are looking for today. It needs to be short and punchy. You cannot have a 1 camera shoot, right? So you're looking for a 2 or 3 camera shoot minimum to get the different angles. What angles do you need? You need close-ups on your intimate stories. You need widescreen so you can see the power of the stage. You have to have audience shots. People need to see audience reactions in your footage. If you are telling a joke and no one is laughing and there's no footage of the laughing, how are we supposed to know if it's funny? Maybe we didn't think it was funny until that we like, oh, okay, the audience loves that. Meeting planners need to know the audience loved that. How do they know that? You show the audience in your footage. Audio quality is key. You've got to be clear and concise. Same thing with video quality. You don't want shaky footage, blurry footage. Those, you can't use that. You need to have 3 to 4 different speeches in your demo video. It cannot be you on one stage in one outfit. So you need at least 3 to 4 different stages with you in at least 3 to 4 different outfits. So don't wear the same outfit on every stage. And then you've got to answer the question, why are you the expert that I should spend money on to bring to our event? And that needs to be answered in the first 15 to 20 seconds. I need that credible validation that I know what I'm talking about and I'm worth the investment that I'm asking for. Then needs to immediately jump to stage footage. So that's the video. A speaker press kit. Here are some of the key things that you need in a speaker press kit. A great headshot, a high-rise headshot that really shows you today, not 10 years ago, not 5 years ago, today. Make sure it's eye-catching, original, really enhances who you are, and make sure it's high-res. Your bio. This is your unique positioning. Again, you've got to say, why am I the expert? Why am I different? Why should you hire me? And that needs to be in your speaker bio. Then you need your keynote description. Think about it like this. What you're trying to describe in this keynote description is, what are people buying when they buy this program? When they pay you whatever, $15,000, what they are paying for is what you have written on that page in your video. This is what you're buying, right? And then it's, how are you going to deliver that? Some of that is just bullet point takeaways, right? It's like, here's what the program is about. Here's what your audience is going to leave with. And people are making a $15,000 to $50,000 decision on a 5-minute video and a 1-page description. Think about that. It needs to sell, and it needs to be really well positioned. It needs to reach the heart and the core of who this is for, what it is for, and how we're going to achieve it, right? That is your keynote description. Then you need reviews or testimonials. If you can organize them by industry. So if you are being submitted to speak at an insurance association, make sure you have lots of insurance testimonials. If it's a real estate, right, event, make sure you've got real estate testimonials. So try to customize and organize those by industry if you can. But what's most important is we need to know these are real people. So what's their headshot? What's their name? What was their position? And what did they say? AJ was the best speaker, not as impactful. AJ was the best speaker we have hired in the last 10 years. I have never had so many people request that we bring her back as I have had with this event, right? That's the type of thing that you're looking for. So be really intentional about what you're trying to get across with your reviews and testimonials. And the last thing I would say when it comes to becoming a highly paid professional speaker is at the end of the day, you have to be so good at what you do, your craft, that other speakers are willing to tell meeting planners and bureaus about you. So be so good at what you do that other people tell others about what you do. And that is how you become a highly paid professional speaker.